Did you know we have a total of 8 brain wave states in our brain, and out of the last 4 was discovered a few decades before? Our brain is a complex activity of neurons firing through many networks in the brain and processing information from the inputs to deciding an output. So let's begin. There are 4 brain waves that we know as delta, theta, alpha and beta. These 4 brain waves occur most of our entire day and night. And each has a specific work function that affects your thinking and rest of the body. For most guys that are new to this subject called brain waves, let me introduce it for you guys that are out there. So the brain processes information by firing neurons in many networks in the brain. The neural networks are just like a computer chip in your desktop, etc., where the information is sent through the chip and it processes the information and therefore gives output to the respective part of the brain or even other parts of the body. So the neuron cell works by the process called action potential, due to brief variation of potential difference across the membrane of the neuron cell by the sodium and potassium ions throughout the axon of the neuron cell. So let's talk about the different brain waves starting from low to high in terms of their frequency. The first one is delta waves. The state of delta waves is where one is in deep sleep mode and the entire body is paralyzed and unresponsive. Therefore the person would be having a hard time if had to awake from this, as the brain waves are very slow and would take some time to shift into faster waves. This state is where one's heart beats slow, leading to low respiration rate and low blood pressure. Also the reticular activating system, aka known as RAS, which is responsible for being awake and alert, therefore shuts down, increasing melatonin, leading to a fully tired state turning to sleeping state. Also the brain slows down and reduces the signals for muscle movement when arriving to this state, and after it reaches achieves no muscle movement. Studies show that subconsciously being present at approximately 3.5 Hz, which is more in between delta and theta brain waves, shows that one can tap into long-term memory. This state is where most people are unconscious, but subconsciously they are active, and this is where one can reprogram the mindset of the individual by subliminal messages sent to the ears by speaking. With more practice on meditation, one can achieve consciously tapping into long-term memory. Moving on. The second one is theta waves. The state of the theta waves is where the threshold of the subconscious when compared from faster brain waves, and also it can tap long-term memory stored inside the brain. Same as that of delta wave state, if you are practicing more on meditation you can reprogram and change your holding belief systems, thus changing the frequency of thinking to more of the good qualities rather than the bad qualities that you already have installed in you. Meditation practitioners and monks go into this state by chanting specific chants, chanting mantras, etc., in order to experience altered states of consciousness. There is a state in between theta and alpha waves which is 7.48 to 7.83 Hz, that is the Schumann earth resonance frequency, and when used by implementing binaural beats helps in recover memories from the subconscious. Also every year we see there is an increase in frequency, and now the Schumann resonance has changed from 7.48 Hz to 7.83 Hz within a couple years. Moving on. The third one is alpha waves. The alpha state is observed in the brain when an individual is awake and in a relaxed yet alert and calm. They exhibit larger and more distinct waveforms on an electroencephalogram, EEG, reading. The alpha waves are primarily observed in the posterior regions of the brain, particularly in the occipital lobe, which is responsible for visual processing. Alpha waves tend to decrease in amplitude and may disappear when the attention is directed towards external stimuli, or like when the eyes are open. But the alpha waves can typically be replaced by faster brain wave activity in the area like beta waves. This state can be achieved by mindful meditation, relaxing your muscles and releasing tension and stress with eyes closed. Doing this for a few minutes helps in accumulation of alpha waves. Studies have shown that doing some form of job or work when relaxed fully, increases in alpha waves leading to more cognitive performance. Also shows improved focus and attention when working with one thing at a time. Doing multiple things shifts to new faster brain waves which are beta waves as alpha waves are delicate and when external stimuli increases, it reduces significantly. There is a state where it is between alpha and beta waves of around 12 Hz where our brain works most efficiently in single tasks, both the minor details to the overall task at the same task. Moving on. So coming to the fourth one is beta waves. The beta state is normally where we live most of our life, and in this state is where our brain processes usual tasks in everyday life and we live consciously most of the time. This state has a broad bandwidth right from 12 Hz to 35 Hz when compared to other previous brain waves. So there are three categories that are high, middle and low beta between the beta bandwidth. The low beta wave signals are strongly correlated to the sensory motor complex in the brain, therefore the low beta brain wave is also known as the sensory motor rhythm wave, short form known as SMR. The SMR wave is an oscillation of the idle rhythm of synchronized brain activity. The SMR wave's amplitudes are more dominant where the sensory motor system is idle, which means not moving your body parts even a single one. The consequences of low beta accumulation are caused by the reduced mobility, relaxed and shallow breathing, and finally less blinking of the eyes though the eyes are open. This makes sense of these characteristics as in more comparable to alpha waves. Part of low beta, which is SMR, is seen in the occipital lobe part of the brain. The SMR are mixed with alpha waves and are hard to note and filter it from the rest of the signals. If you ask what is the difference between alpha and low beta brain waves? Well, most of the alpha waves accumulation happens mostly in the occipital lobe, which is responsible for visual processing, while most of the low beta waves accumulation happens in the sensory motor complex part of the brain. Part of the treatment in increasing attention and focus is done by using neurofeedback using low beta waves. Mid-beta is a more normal brain activity after doing some less effortful physical activity. This is where most of us start to be alert and gain consciousness of the environment you are surrounded with. This is where effective communication happens, meaning having good daily conversation with other people, animals, etc. Good coordination throughout the whole movement of your many muscles are due to beta brain activity. When it comes to high beta of the beta bandwidth, it shows characteristics wide awake, alert, better, and complex mental processing with peak mental and physical performance. Sustaining high beta does lead to exhaustion and for a short amount of time. Most of us use up to mid-beta brain wave frequencies daily in life. This high beta wave is where one can learn more about the person's mental ability and to an extent personal difficulties with the help of a hypnotherapist. Now that you know these four brain waves, but still there are more than one brain waves that most of us don't know about it. Let's introduce the next brainwave achieved by few people under prolonged exercise or meditation. So the next two faster brain waves are gamma and hypergamma. Gamma waves can be found in all areas of the brain. Gamma waves are high-frequency oscillations with a frequency range of approximately 30 to 45 Hz. They are generated through the synchronized firing of large populations of neurons and are believed to reflect the coherent activity of neural networks across different brain regions. The emergence of gamma oscillations is thought to play a critical role in information processing, perception, attention, memory, and other complex cognitive functions. The synchronization of gamma oscillations facilitates the binding of different sensory inputs, enabling the seamless integration of information from various brain regions. It is this coordinated neural activity that provides the basis for our conscious experience and the integration of sensory perception, cognition, and self-awareness. Recent research has focused on their role in altered states of consciousness and personal growth. Heightened states of consciousness, such as those achieved through meditation, the use of psychedelic substances, or mystical experiences, have been linked to increased gamma wave activity. Gamma oscillations are often characterized by short transients or bursting activity, where brief episodes of high-frequency oscillations occur in a phasic manner. This is true for normal people. These bursts of gamma activity are associated with the processing of sensory stimuli, attentional focus, and cognitive operations. The phasic nature of gamma bursts enables the rapid integration and communication of information across different brain regions. Studies have shown that experienced meditators exhibit increased gamma wave activity during meditation. These heightened gamma oscillations are observed in various brain regions, including the prefrontal cortex, anterior cingulate cortex, and insula. The enhanced gamma activity is associated with focused attention, heightened sensory perception, and the integration of cognitive and emotional processes. Increased gamma power and coherence may reflect the intensification of neural processing and the integration of information during meditation. Long-term meditation practice has been linked to enhanced gamma synchronization across brain networks. Regular meditators show greater long-range gamma coherence, indicating improved functional connectivity between distant brain regions. Deep states of meditation mindfulness can lead to profound alterations in consciousness, often characterized by a sense of unity, timelessness, and transcendent awareness. These altered states have been associated with increased gamma wave activity. The heightened gamma synchronization is thought to facilitate the integration of diverse neural networks, leading to a more unified and expanded state of consciousness. Since you learned about this new brain wave, there's another component of gamma but has different characteristics which totally define it as another new brainwave, which is called hyper-gamma brain waves. Hyper-gamma waves. Most of the technical characteristics are just the same as that of gamma brain waves, but there is a difference between these two, and that is related to spiritual experience characteristics. This state has been achieved only by the Buddhist monks, and they are elevating their consciousness by synchronizing their two hemispheres by meditation, and this is not your usual meditation. Buddhist monks are being trained in meditation differently, and most of ritual practices are guarded, and the secrets have only been shared to the next in-line future successor. Achieving this state takes a lot of time and effort in meditation. Why is it that hard? If I ask you not to think about elephants right now, certainly without a question you are thinking about the elephants. When it comes to meditation, all flow of energy and attention without any form of distraction and hesitation comes to those who have let the ego of theirs down and be of experiencing an increased level of consciousness, with certainly a quest to know the truth. Who am I? Finding out the real answer to this question is why we are in the first place in this reality, and it is a quest for every individual. Because what we think and analyze all comes from tri-dimensional thinking, and I believe we have yet to go to a stage where we increase our awareness and consciousness to change and understand who we are. And there is no doubt that the monks are at the brink of this stage or already past and experiencing blissful experiences. Now for surprise, researchers have found another brain wave which is called Lambda, where this level of brain activity has been shown by the monks on meditation on the snow in freezing severe cold conditions. This brain wave state allowed the monk to regulate their core body temperature very high, which was comforting and helpful in sustaining the meditation. What astonishing is that they were able to sustain for long periods of time. What monks have achieved can only be described as the superhumans of the mankinds, where they achieved a level which has never been seen before by 99.999% humans on this earth at this time. Well, recent new studies have also shown another new brain wave which is not higher but at the other end of brain wave bandwidth. This level of tuning to this state particularly needs significant experience, and that only an experienced monk could do. It is called an epsilon wave, and it starts from 0 Hz to 0.5 Hz. Yes, exactly, they are not dead but pretty much alive and conscious. The research has found out that the brain resets and experiences ecstatic blissful experiences. What is amazing is that the epsilon wave acts as a carrier wave for the lambda wave, and it is amazing monks are able to do it with their minds. So these are the 8 brain waves altogether discovered by the scientists, and I won't stop counting till 8 brain waves, because just like the monks being evolved differently from the rest of us over time, hoping we may discover a new brain wave state. So fingers crossed, and let's wait for what happens then. I hope I made it clear and simple for you to understand. Give a thumbs up and do comments such that the YouTube algorithm will further reach more people who might be in need of this video, as it is crucial for people to be aware. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and don't forget to turn on the bell icon for more content videos uploading soon.